It's not every day you meet someone known throughout.
I think that might be Donovan Reese. I dislike him intensely.
It can get rowdy in here sometimes.
Take a seat.
But we try to keep things civil.
So you're working with Autumn, huh? Who are you? A woman who's growing increasingly impatient, that's who.
The deputy here is interested in meeting Marco to talk about that mercenary company he's been funding. Since part of that money is coming from his smuggling operation, we're working together.
So you're investigating the first? Why? Seems like a strange thing for a mercenary company to be doing.
I guess an introduction is in order. Like Marco, Jade here is the head of a small smuggling cartel. Difference is her crew stays out of Freestar Collective space, while Marco's group operates exclusively within it.
Except now he's looking to expand his operation, and he started moving in on my territory. Because it might get a little awkward if my sister here had to arrest me. If you think this gives you some kind of leverage, you're wrong. Sure, he might slow me down for a while, but a little competition won't break me. Well, thanks for the economics lesson, but I think I know my trade. Look, the bad news is, Marco's incredibly paranoid. He never stays in one place for long. The good news is, I know how to find him.
But you're not going to tell us yet because you want something.
I want the same thing you do. I want Marco out of the picture. But like I said, getting a meeting with him can be damn near impossible. One of the few people who can arrange such a meeting is right here at Red Mile.
May Divine. We've suspected for some time that Red Mile was a meeting place for smugglers. If she's in business with Marco, she won't give him up easily.
She's the owner and manager here. Inherited the place when her husband was killed. May's the key to this whole thing, but I don't know her. Maybe try to get on her good side? My thinking exactly. I can tell you right now what she's gonna want, because it's the same thing she always wants. She wants runners. It's how she makes most of her money. Of course, people that hard-blooded aren't easy to find.
Yeah, well, I'm not going out on the mile. That's a death sentence. There has to be another way.
You've been a ranger long enough that too many people know your face and your name. Runners attract a lot of attention. If someone recognizes you and tips off May, this whole thing is shot. You, on the other hand, are just a deputy. It's pretty unlikely that a lot of people know you.
You don't have to do this. We'll find another way to get to Marco. The Red Mile is incredibly dangerous. I just don't want to see you take a risk like that. Someone who volunteers to run the Red Mile, a deadly stretch of terrain just outside the cantina. It's infested with hostile creatures, and few people survive. The ones that do earn a reputation. I hope that's not false bravado, Deputy, because this is life and death we're talking about.
You have played your hand well, Jade. Using the Rangers to eliminate a rival. Very clever.
From where I'm sitting, we're using each other.
If it's really as simple as asking May Divine for a meeting with Marco, then I guess that's all you need to do. We'll wait here for you. Try not to die. Will you?
You're really going to take on the mile, huh?
Kick back with a drink. what it takes. That is true. But Mr. Graziani values his privacy. What is your business with him? Exactly. It's quite a leap of faith that you're asking me to take. I have no particular love for Marco, but he is a business associate. So I must protect my reputation. Fortunately for you, I'm in a generous mood. It's been too long since we've had proper entertainment. If you're willing to provide it, I'll give you Marco. Are you prepared to run the Red Mile? A simple journey through a wilderness occupied by creatures that some call dangerous. I give you my word, which is something I never do lightly. Once you've begun, I'll collect bets from our patrons who will place wagers on your survival. I'm afraid not. But I'm sure your confidence will inspire our patrons to place substantial wagers on your survival. That's what every runner says.
You definitely have at least 50-50 chance.
Now that we're clear on what's expected of you, are you ready to begin? Good. Come with me and I'll introduce you. That's why I hired you and your people.
Excuse me.
Hi, welcome to Red Mile.
I already paid you more than a fair wage.
You got it. Word of warning.
And I pay on time. Every.
Enjoy yourself.
In fact, I paid top dollar to ensure they took it.
You and your crew are better off. But if you're not satisfied with compensation, I'm sure I can find other members of your outfit eager to take your place. Oh, you're welcome to try. But I have friends in high places. You wouldn't want me to have to call you favorite.
Get out of my face before I put a bullet in your head.
If you fancy yourself a Red Mile runner, just speak to me. How are you, dear?
I've got something on my mind.
Go on.
It's this whole marriage thing. If someone wants to throw their life away.
Hello.
Need something for your ship? Hey, you the captain of that ship. Is your registration paperwork in order? Who's asking? The Starport Master of Red Mile is who? Think that'd be obvious, given what I just asked you. Fine. Truth is, I don't really give a damn. I gotta ask, because it's my job, you know? And don't get me wrong. I used to care about running a tight operation. Had everything going nice and smooth. But when May started building this place up and hired those mercs, everything went straight to hell. I voiced my displeasure, and now I'm on the outs. Yep, she took over a little while ago. Drove out all the regulars because they didn't fit in with her new vision for the place. Now, I'm not saying they were saints, but at least there was some respect for the people whose blood and sweat makes this place work, you know? You'll find her inside. Whatever you're here for, she's probably the one you want to talk to first. May's security. Bunch of wannabe soldier assholes is more like it. Call themselves Ecliptic. They think there's some sort of elite paramilitary unit. I'll tell you what they really are. They're nothing but punks with guns that get off on pushing people around. I get the need for having some security out here. We're independent. That ain't lost on me. But these guys are the worst of the worst. More trouble than they're worth, you know? And not by a little. Sure has. May, she's got these big ideas about making this place some kind of must-see attraction for the whole settled systems. You'd think she'd care a little bit more about the quality of the damn starport. Anyway, I'm sure you're already sick of my bitching. If you need parts for that ship, or a top-up on the grav drive fuel, that's me. Yeah, huh? Got it. That ship of yours will be fixed in no time. What we got's all legit these days. Take a look. That's what I'm here for. See ya.
I don't get paid to be nice. I get paid to put down any vermin that tries to stop me here.
Mr. Anderson.
Ah, Miss Divine. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company?
Not pleasure.
Yes? What?
Don't exist for the Rangers while
Things people would do to try and make money.
Testing yourself against the mile.
Whatever you have to say, I don't give a shit.
Please, enjoy your time here at the Red Mile. Yes?
Here to ask for another drink on the house, Mr. Reese? No. Wow.
Play by the house
Very
rules.
different apart
You'll
from
find
the
yourself on the other side of an
I think
airlock
what you
without a
said
helmet.
about celebrities behind the drinks didn't But all of this is also But all of this is besides the point.
Hey.
You're not getting a free drink.
All are welcome at the Red Mile.
If you think you've got a chance in the Red Mile, talk to me. That's always happy to have more fun.
Can I get you something while you wait for the next run?
Or it's saying a crit. No, I will not help you hurt people.
I can't do this!
We certainly get a lot of... Cool. What will you be having? Come and see me if you need anything else.
Yeah, well, it's changed.
That's really simple out there on the Red Mile.
I think that might be Donovan Reese. I dislike him intensely.
Come on.
You should follow Autumn's lead. Who are you? Oh, if it's none of my business who you...
The deputy here is... Since part of that money is coming from...
So you're investigating? Guess they're just handing out badges to anyone.
I guess an introduction is in order. Difference is her crew stays out of...
Except now he's looking to expand his operation. Now you're talking. Look, the bad news... The good news is, I know how to find him.
But you're not gonna tell us...
I want the same thing, but like I said, getting him... One of the few people who can...
May Divine. We've suspected for some time that if she's in business...
Yeah, well, so can... I can tell you right now what... She wants Runner, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm not...
You've been a ranger long... Runners attract a lot of attention. You, on the other hand...
You don't have to do this. I hope that's not false bravado.
You have played your hand well, Jade. Using the Rangers to eliminate...
From where I'm sitting,
If it's really as simple, we'll wait here for you.
I doubt anything scares you.
Yes?
You wouldn't last a minute in the Red Mile. Of course.
Whether you... That is true. But what is your business? It's quite a... I have no particular... Fortunately for you, it's been too long since we've... Are you prepared to... I give you my word. Once you've begun... That's what
You definitely have at least 50-50 chance.
Now that we're clear on what's... Good. Come with me and I'll... That's why I hired you and your people. I trust if this pirate crew pays us a visit, you'll handle it. I already pay you more than a fair wage, Starfield. And I pay on time. Every time. In fact, I pay top dollar to ensure that you and your crew are better off than most of the mercenaries. But if you're not satisfied with compensation, I'm sure I can find other members of your outfit eager to take your place. Oh, you're welcome to try. But I have friends in high places. You wouldn't want me to have to call in favor. Would you?
Okay. Hello.
May fortune smile on you today.
Howdy.
Hey, I cannot, will not be a part of this!
last a minute in the Red Mile. Of course,
I probably wouldn't either.
Excuse me.
Things people will do to try and make money.
I took this job so I could be here to see all the runners in person. Of course, most of
You'll be talking to the other side of my boat if you keep trying to strike up a conversation. This is a lot more stressing than I was expecting.
Well, that is simply unacceptable. They can be brutes, no question about it. It's partially why I hired them. I was hoping they'd curtail their aggression when it came to our staff, but perhaps not. If it happens again, tell them that on my authority, they're required to pay like everyone else.
Yes?
I give them money for this. If they disagree, they can take it up with me personally.
I think they will. Capitulating to a bully only encourages them.
If you want to get their attention and earn their respect, a show of strength is required. Fame and fortune await in the Red Mile, if you have what it... That is true. What is your business? It's quite a leap of faith. I have no particular love for Marco. Fortunately for you, it's been too long since we... Are you prepared to... I give you my word. Once you've begun... That's what...
You definitely have it.
Now that we're clear on what's Good. Come with me and I'll introduce you.
I need a break. After this job, it's neon in the astral lounge for me. What the hell are you looking at? You trying to piss me off? I'm on duty. Smack the hell out of my face.
Your attention, please. Valued patrons and honored guests. For one brave soul, the hour of things ahead. Yes, a runner has come to test the Red Mile. Now is your chance to get a good look at our fearless challenger as you contemplate your wagers. Do you see the fire in those eyes? What is that if not steely determination? I think you'll agree that we're in for quite a show. The rules are simple. Go through the door and take the elevator down to where the mile begins. Activate the beacon at the base of the tower you see in the distance. Once you've done so, return here alive, and your run will be complete. Go now, runner, and see if you can survive the mile!
I don't make chit-chat with patrons.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets. some time since I have visited the Red One, so this should be fun.
You gonna try it again? I wouldn't.
Congratulations, runner. You have succeeded where most have failed. In fact, you seem none the worse for wear.
Yeah, well, you better stop messing with my unit, or there are gonna be consequences.
I'm not easily impressed. But you've managed to surprise me. As promised, I'll set up your meeting with Marco. I'll dispatch a courier to let him know you're coming. Please take a moment to relax and enjoy our hospitality. I'll return shortly.
Hey.
The guests would return. If it were up to me, I'd fire the lot of you right now. Take the chances with the pirates.
Well,
Nothing
it's
quite
not up
like
to
the
you,
excitement
is it?
of a run.
Meanwhile, here's some free advice. Next time you get drunk, try picking a fight with someone who isn't carrying a firearm. I can only hold my subordinates back for so long before they finally get tired of your BS.
Get the hell out of my face, you pretentious wanker. I'm already bored with this
Excuse me.
conversation.
It's a good thing you're so funny, Reese. It's the only thing keeping me from kicking your ass.
Spare
May runs a tidy establishment. Let's keep it that way.
You made it. You're back. Are you okay?
It has been a relief to be honest with you about my past. I appreciate your willingness to listen. But talking about this, remembering all those years, has brought back some unsettling memories. Thank you. That means a great deal to me. I have told you that I spent many years coordinating with smugglers along the edges of the settled systems. There were men and women I worked alongside closely. And over time, I established relationships. They were not of the promised, but I considered them friends. Yes, I have found that to be true. It was, and is, still a surprise. You must understand. I was raised to believe that those who do not follow the Great Serpent do not matter. For they are lost. Their fate is fixed and grim. And yet here were these men and women with hopes and dreams, delights and aversions. It felt like a small betrayal of my people, of House Varun, but I cared for my friends. And then I lost them. It was, in ways I did not understand at the time, and so it has bothered me ever since. It was so sudden. We had met on a remote planet to transfer cargo, and zealots appeared in force, seemingly out of nowhere. There was barely time to react. So many were cut down immediately. I believe my years of training saved me, got me moving when others faltered. I retreated to my ship immediately, But I left them all behind. Aaron Bascom and Jada Wong. They were my friends, and I abandoned them. And in the years since, I have never looked for them. "10 years. I was immediately reassigned to another role, light years away. No. I told myself it's because I never had the time, but in truth, I was scared of what I'd find. I have no doubt they were resourceful. Still, how badly were their lives damaged by that moment? In my time getting to know you, I have thought more and more of all this. How little sense it all made, how I never really knew what happened or what became of my friends. My connection to you has reminded me what it means to trust someone, to be there for them. And I can no longer live with not knowing. I need to finally pursue this. I would like you with me when I do. I do not know what we will find, but I know it will be easier with you at my side. I am not sure I will find any comfort in it, but I think it is important nonetheless. I am not sure where they might be now, but I believe we should begin the search in Aquila City. That is where I last saw Aaron Bascom.
If you're looking to register, you'll need to speak to Miss Divine.
Maybe I underestimated you. You're back. Are you okay? And here I was feeling like a nervous wreck the whole time. Guess I had nothing to worry about. Anyway, I'm relieved you made it through okay.
Why? Afraid you'd lose all that work you put into your smuggling investigation?
I wouldn't expect you to understand. All you see in people is what you can get from them. I'm glad, because that was an incredibly brave thing you did. And we need rangers with that kind of courage. Also, I owe you an apology. I was pretty awful to you at first. I'm sorry about that.
Wow, I'm afraid I've never actually been a part of your adoring messes.
No, it's not that. I had a bad experience with another deputy that I was training. I'll tell you all about it after this is over. Okay? So, you need to stay alive, or you'll never hear the story.
Right.
You're right. Let's focus on the job. Once you're on your way, I'll return to the Rock and let the Marshal know what's going on. Come home safe, Deputy. That's an order.
You always were the soft one, little sister.
Oh, go to hell. Or at least make yourself useful and get us some drinks.
I've seen you run. I'll die.
Time for me to keep my promise, runner? You can find Marco on Kodos aboard his ship. I'd advise you not to keep him waiting. He is not exactly patient. He's intelligent, well-connected, and utterly ruthless. He's also a man of taste who appreciates the finer things. You'll find out soon enough what I mean. Only that someone wanted a meeting. Don't expect to catch him unprepared. He keeps a sizable force of mercenaries aboard his ship as bodyguards. Good. Travel safely, runner. Should you ever crave the challenge of the mile again, it will be here, waiting for you.
Lost in my thoughts, but glad to be back. Space is so hostile to humanity already, and you made it just a little bit safer for everybody. No matter what you could have done differently, this will impact a lot of lives eventually. We'll have to mark it in the Constellation history books so we don't forget it when the Turamorphs are finally gone. So humble, too. People love that. Squeak! Balancing risk versus reward is tricky. Even more so when so much hangs in the balance. So, you really think the Asylees are going to work out, huh? You must have seen some data that I didn't. They're reliable is, I think, what you're trying to say. And yeah, I get where you're coming from. By sealing the Lazarus plant away instead of destroying it, I'm worried we've made things riskier. Maybe we can study it, fair, but it will take a long time to get any actionable results.
Yeah?
That deadly predators would have driven off settlers. Humans. We can be so stubborn.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor. Doctor? Mothers. All right.
Okay, let's all just take a breath here. We all want to protect people from the Ashta. We're on the same side here.
The hell with that. This ain't the way things are done, and that's the end of it.
With due respect, I have repeatedly explained that I do not need permission. I came to you in the spirit of cooperation, but if this is the reaction...
It's always work. Always! Why you trying to fix something that ain't working?
Mr. Wilson, we can deal with the Ashton better, safer. We didn't turn down fire or a space flight because we managed just fine until that point.
I will not be talked down to like this.
Okay. Miss Alpin, please don't take any further action until we've had some time to think this over. All right?
We need to be smarter, better in the way we handle the Ashta.
Friend, I gotta confess, I'm not much in the mood for conversation. I know, I shouldn't let that woman get up under my skin, but, well, I can't seem to help it. Girl comes in here with her big ideas about how we defend our city. No respect for the way we've done things for years. No worries about the possible consequences. And expect us to thank her for making our lives more difficult. I tell you, I've never seen entitlement like that. Not a shred of awareness in her. It's shocking is what it is. Look, this ain't New Atlantis. It ain't all flowers and chirping birds out there. These walls around us, they're here for a damn good reason. I've trained the guards here for years, again, for a damn good reason. We get it wrong, we not watching all the time, then the Ashta kill innocent people. That's the simple reality of the situation. So when someone struts into town with their untested ideas on how to do things better, then those of us who dedicated our lives to protecting the city, that don't go over so well. I don't know, some technical mumbo-jumbo about sensors and behavior predictions. That's not the point. She expects us to just change up how things work, and I can't abide by it. We've gotten along just fine until now. This ain't help. This is thinking you know better than the people that have done it for years. Decades even. It's just arrogance. Look, this is getting my blood pressure up talking about this so damn much. You think you can talk some sense into her? Be my guest. Otherwise, I suggest you leave defending this city to the people who spent their lives doing it.
If it weren't for the walls, the whole town would be an Ashta buffet.
So you want to come?
A half day. I talked with Miss Kastler, and she'll give a full guided tour.
I mean, no offense, but isn't it a bit small? And there's not as many attractions as I'd like.
Miss Kastler built this whole thing off donations and what she could throw together. It's not like Aquila's swimming in museums here.
Fine. But I want your class to write an essay about what they learned.
I was planning on that, ma'am. I don't think all the students will fit in all at once. I'll have to
I wish we had more cultural institutions in Akita City.
I think the Co-Heritage Museum is really good, personally.
Yes, at ease. I have spent far too much time here. I do not recommend it.
Yeah, screw that. Freestar takes care of the money or possessions to feel good about my life.
He is not here. I am disappointed, but relieved somehow? No. This is the only place he would be. I know him well enough to know that. Someone here must know more. We should inquire about him.
Second chances don't come easy. Takes a lot of work, sometimes a lot of help, too. Might not be the biggest selection in town, but our liquor gets the job done as well as any. I can guarantee you that. Good eye. It's not something most people pick up on. I grew up in the stretch, and I hated it. I was ready to do anything to get out. Gang called the Mad Dog sent some recruits. I signed up. Did a lot of things I'm not proud of. Those days are over now. I got out, Aggie gave me a second chance. I intend to make the most of it. Take care, stranger.
Ethan handles all the orders. This bar may be tougher than you can handle. More and more as time goes on. Plenty of folks looking to get out from under the thumb of the UC, or taking their first steps to being independent. City's been slow to keep up with all the new people. Took them forever to put up the outer walls, and at this rate, they'll need to expand again soon. You surprised or disappointed? It's my name on the outside, isn't it? Been here too damn long to let someone else come in and muck it up. Hell, even finding decent help isn't worth the trouble half the time. Ethan's got half a brain in his head, seems like, so maybe he'll work out. You ain't here looking for Erin. She is.
Hello, Aggie. I was unsure whether you would remember me. It has been a long time.
I ain't likely to forget you anytime soon. I don't know. You tell me. You're the one blundering in here with her in tow, asking questions. Don't try to play tough with me. I ain't got the time or the patience for it. She didn't ruin Aaron's life enough the first time, huh? Back for more?
Ruined his life? How dare you?
Did she tell you what she did to him? How she left him bleeding on some godforsaken rock in the middle of nowhere? Forgive me if I don't take you at your word. Aaron sat in that corner for years, scared of his own shadow, convinced the damn zealots were coming back to finish the job. The few credits he had to rub together that didn't get spent on drink, he spent on setting himself up someplace where they couldn't find him. Wouldn't trust anyone that walked through the door. Only ever talked to me when he was drunk enough. If either of you cared, you wouldn't just be showing up now. Aaron ain't been in here for almost a year now. Showed up one day saying he'd gone and got himself set up on Hyla too, thanking me for letting him stay here so often. It was the closest I'd seen him to happy in I don't know how long. And that was it. Never came through the door again.
Did he ever mention me?
You mean, did he blame you? That's what you want to know. I know guilt when I see it. Don't try and deny it.
Fine. Did he blame me?
No. Believed you were one of the good ones, right up until the last time I talked to him. Me? I don't think your kind has good ones.
My kind?
I know what you are. You take your holier-than-thou bullshit and your great serpent and shove them.
You dare insult me like this when I have come to you asking for help? I should kill you where you stand. You're right. We should focus on finding him.
Well, this has been so much fun. You see Aaron, you tell him I got a bottle of his favorite stashed away if he ever shows up again. But honestly, I'm hoping he doesn't.
I trust you are well. We have something to go on, at least. I am grateful that you showed some compassion, despite that woman's attitude. I do not have your patience. And yet it is my past we are trying to clear up. That is... It means a lot. I'm eager to reach Hyla too, and speak to Aaron. Perhaps there is something we can do to help him. Provide him a sense of safety. Yes, please. He is a quiet man. Reserved. I believe he had lived through a great many hardships, though he never spoke of them. I never felt it proper to ask. He valued his personal space and quiet moments. It was one thing we always shared in common. Years ago, I had heard he was alive, but did not attempt to contact him. Did not feel it was right. I hope this is not a mistake. I do not know, not for sure. I did not see them fall that day, and I suppose I have hoped they survived. I admit I have not investigated before now, at least in part because of What I feared I might learn. House Varun is in a distant corner of space, far away from the rest of the settled systems. While this serves our interests, it can also pose challenges. Many critical resources are scarce, and diplomatic relations with the United Colonies and Freestar Collective were tense at the best of times. It was the most practical way to acquire what we need, without raising too many questions. Still is. Then we should return to our task. Goodbye, for now. We should be on our guard here. If we could detect the camp from orbit, it means others could too. And I have no idea what fortifications he may have. When we arrive, would you let me speak to him first? I think that is important right now. Thank you. From what Aggie said, it sounds like he has been rather paranoid for years now. That, too, I fear, is my fault. Let us proceed slowly and carefully. I do not want to antagonize him.
Beginning landing cycle.
Captain Ashley, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
What does your scanner reveal? Best not to leave anything useful behind. I thought I saw something. I need to be sure. I don't know what to say. I thought there would be a chance to speak to him. To make amends. Or at least to hear him curse me for leaving him. I was prepared to accept that. I did not think I would find him like this. At least these vermin didn't get him. He's been gone for Clearly it's been some time. Look around. There will be correspondence from Jada Wong, I am sure of it. This cannot all be for nothing. But you... and succeed at that before we are discovered. You found something. Please, let me see it. I should have guessed. Jada was always the one to run towards trouble. Of course she would still be doing it now. In her own way. She has been for as long as I have known her. Jada was younger than some of the other smugglers we contracted. There was concern she would be unreliable. As time went on, we called on her more and more often, eventually relying on her almost exclusively. She was sharp, a skilled pilot and very, very determined. Always talking about her big plans for retirement, how she would live like a queen. I am not surprised that she would desire revenge. But to go this far, we need to find her But before we go, I have discovered something else, and I do not know what to make of it. Aaron was composing a reply to Jada, but never sent it. It reads as if he was expecting the Zealots to find him, that they knew where to look for him. Clearly he had become paranoid, but that does not mean he was wrong. What bothers me, though, is that he mentions a name he should not know. Tomisar Kadik. Nor should you. For all of my assignments in the settled systems, Tomisar has been my link to House Barun. From him, I have received my orders, and he is the person to whom I have reported my success. He does not work with anyone outside House Barun, and I am the only one who knows how and where to find him. Aaron should never have heard of him. It is hardly that simple. We must first make sure that Jada is safe, and perhaps she will be able to shed light on this. Let us head for the den. Need a moment to walk that off.
Green lights on outer hatch. We're docked.
Either she is here, or someone will know where we can find her.
Good to see you. I hope we have what you...
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Haven't seen you around here before. Welcome to the den. Reina Marquez. I head up the Vanguard station here. Good to see another Vanguard pilot. You assigned here, or just passing through? Right. Okay. Good. Was afraid I'd gotten another transfer without any warning. Nothing against you personally, of course. I'd just like to know who I'm responsible for before they show up on my doorstep. You need anything? Say the word. We're short on luxuries here, but for a fellow Vanguard, I'll do what I can to help. The same thing we do everywhere else. Fill in the gaps for the UC Navy. Help keep the settled systems peaceful and safe. Sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge all the way out here, but we try our best. I wouldn't mind a little more support from New Atlantis, but I know things are tough all over. Might be counterintuitive, but no, we don't. It's pretty quiet, and some of us deal with that better than others. We get the occasional distress call, sometimes Varun stirs up trouble, but there's a lot of downtime. I'm not complaining, but others, like Bastion there, it's not what he was expecting. Certainly not what he wanted. Oh gosh, no. Vanguard wasn't even a thought back when this place was first built. The den, the original den, mind you, got blown up during the Serpent's Crusade. UC Navy immediately rebuilt the station, I think largely out of spite. Sometimes I think that's why they keep it operational too. Certainly hasn't had much real purpose since the Colony War ended. I'm glad we have it as a post, and Marcel and the Trade Authority do some decent business, which I try very hard not to pay attention to. But the station has never recaptured that old glory. Don't think it ever will, really. Huang? Really? There are at least 3 other pilots based out of here I'd expect to receive complaints about first. Before we get started, I have to inform you there's a formal review process for the Vanguard, so don't expect any action for a while, okay? Now, what is the nature of your complaint? Look, this isn't Alpha Centauri or anything. We're a bit removed from the center of the United Colonies. Folks out here are a little less receptive to the Vanguard keeping an eye on things. Oh. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Force of habit, I suppose. Jada isn't here. Hasn't been here in a while. In fact, well, she's following up on some sensitive information. I'm not sure I should disclose any more than that. It's not something I can just blurt out. Hard to argue with that. Not my problem. Maybe I can make an exception. I suppose it's not the end of the world. Jada came in a bit ago, all fired up over some hot lead. She's been focused on zealots ever since she was assigned here, but this was a whole other level. She was headed out to Groombridge to track them down. Never seen her so fixated. And if you know Jada, that's saying something. If you're headed out that way, be careful. Wouldn't surprise me if she's getting into all kinds of trouble. Vanguard's here if you need us.
classified ship. You are not authorized to be here. State your business. Who the hell are you, and what are you doing here? I was setting up an ambush, but odds are that you've blown it. And my question still stands. What the hell do you think you're doing? I don't know you, and we don't have anything to talk about. You are interfering with an official Vanguard operation, so I'm going to need you to vacate this orbit immediately. Shit! I've got multiple ships inbound. Too late to run. Sure hope you're prepared for a fight. We're talking, which means I'm alive, which means as far as you're concerned, I'm fine. Look, my grav drive is fried. I need time to repair, if I can even manage it. You didn't take the opportunity to blow me up, so either that's not your goal, or you're playing some long game. You wanna explain yourself? I can't stop you from coming over here, but I'm gonna be armed, and it's gonna be aimed at her head. Just so we're all clear.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
How can you possibly show your face?
I am glad to see that you are safe, Jada. I am sorry if this is difficult for you.
Difficult? Are you serious right now? You set us up, killed my friends, and then a decade later you show up like nothing happened? Have you lost your mind?
Set you up? I was not behind that. It was zealots who know that we were all attacked.
Don't bullshit me. Not now. And who the hell are you? Her backup dancer? I was too a ways back. You can see how that's worked out for me. What are you doing here with her?
You don't look like Varun to me. Worried? Worried she hadn't finished me off, maybe. I knew it was only a matter of time.
What are you talking about? I have never acted against you.
You know, for a while I told myself it was a coincidence that you disappeared once the shooting started. That you were long gone when the dust settled. Told myself, no, it couldn't possibly be her. Not after all those years we spent working together. We're friends. So I went after the Zealots. And then I found out the truth. Your damned High Council. They knew. Told the Zealots where to find us.
That's not true. That cannot be true.
Oh, it is.
How? How do you know this? If you have proof, I need to see it right now.
You don't get to demand anything of me, Andreja. I know what I've seen! I don't have... It doesn't work like that. I've put things together over the years. Slates, communications, interrogations.
A name, Jada. Give me a name. You must have heard one by now.
Tomasar! Tomasar Kadik! That's the bastard from the High Council who's been helping the Zealots!
Did you hear this from Aaron?
Aaron? What? No! I haven't talked to him in a year. What do you know about it?
Jada, I swear on the Serpent himself, I would never betray you. I need time to make this right. Can we go somewhere and talk?
I am not giving up on this! I've tracked them this far, and I'm going to see this through. You want your proof? Well, they have it!
So... you think you've won, do you?
That's him! That's the bastard responsible for the ambush! If you're not lying to me, then you better help me take him down! Otherwise I'll just have to destroy you both! Get back to your ship!
I smiled today in the knowledge that the Great Serpent has truly blessed my ship and my crew. Why else would he have delivered unto me the dregs of our purge years ago? The awful that escaped our righteous justice.
Your pathetic High Council, who betrayed the charge laid upon them by the Great Serpent, gave you over to us.
Directly to the surface. Hurts me that you escaped the fate you deserved. But now, the Serpent sets my mind at ease. And in his name, I will cleanse your filth from this universe.
I do not understand. It cannot be possible that the High Council would betray us like that. He must have been lying. Zealots have interpreted the teachings of Jinan Varun in the most hostile way possible, and are convinced they are the only true followers of the Great Serpent. They have always been certain in their beliefs and actions. Does not make them correct. Something about this does not feel right. This message. The code at the bottom. I have seen this before. I know where we need to go. I must explain. House Baroon values secrecy above nearly all else. Those of us sent out into the settled systems, we cannot return. No, you do not understand. When we are assigned a mission, we are taken to a point outside of House Baroon's domain. We do not jump ourselves. We are never given the coordinates for Varun Kai, our homeworld. We literally cannot return. Only a select few are ever trusted with that knowledge. I can never go home. Unless I am permitted. Perhaps there is. I cannot travel to my home, but I can reach out another way. But it means putting you in danger in a way you have not been before. I cannot say for certain what will happen. Thank you. That means a great deal. There is an old derelict star station where I may get answers. I know that seems vague. It will become clear when we arrive.
Locked in.
Will we be taking off immediately, or are there other matters that require your attention?
Greetings, Captain.
Follow me. I will say again, there is danger for you here, likely for us both. I need you to trust me. These stations were built by the United Colonies during the Serpent's Crusade. They were abandoned when peace was brokered. They are an excellent place to hide in plain sight. Before we go any further, I cannot stress this enough. Keep your weapons at your side. Do not make any sudden moves. Do nothing to appear hostile. This is the only place I can get answers. The only connection I have to House Varun. Please give me a moment. I am not the one who needs to explain himself, Tomisar.
I am surprised by your tone. What has gotten into you? This is very unlike you. Almost insubordinate.
I know what you have done. The messages you sent.
You are not making any sense. Of course I send you messages. That is how this works. That is how it has always worked.
Not to me! To the zealots! To the fanatics who murdered my friends, who tried to murder me!
You must be mistaken, or perhaps confused. Nothing like that has ever happened.
Enough! I have the transcripts, Tomisar. You did this. You told them where to find us.
Now, let's just take a moment. No one wants to make accusations they might regret. You are from that Constellation group. I've heard all about you. You have turned her against me, filled her head with lies. This will not be allowed to stand. Insolence! You have corrupted her!
I said enough! This is between you and me.
This has gone far enough. Talk some sense into her at once. Neither of you would dare lift a finger against me. Against House Varun. I have already said this is a misunderstanding. But I am. If you let Andreja hurt me, I am her only link to the High Council, to House Varun. Without me, she can never return home. You must make her listen to reason.
He is responsible. He deserves to die.
Did you not hear me? You do this, you lose everything!
I heard you. I know what it costs me. But he deserves it. Does he not? I do not know. Maybe. Maybe if the High Council sees what he has done. I have been betrayed. Why should I care anymore? The only thing keeping him alive right now is... I know that if I do this, I lose my home. Probably forever. I do not know what to do. Yes. It is the only right thing. You betrayed me, Tommy-san. When you see the Great Serpent, be sure and tell him who sent you. Did they have anything of value? That felt good. We will find out. There is no going back now. I know in my heart the Great Serpent will see that I have done what is right, no matter what House Varun may say. And whatever comes next, I know that I can count on you to face it with me. We should leave this place. Can we return to the lodge? Say the word, and we shall be on our way.
Good day, Captain.
We're loose.
It sometimes amuses me to think about what goes on here, right under the United Colony's collective nose. If there is something I can do, please, say so. Thank you for coming back here with me. I fear that, after all that has happened, I am unsure of my place in House Barun. This room may now be the only place I have left to call home. No, I do not. But I cannot help but worry. I have killed the man who was the only connection to my people. I have no way to reach House Barun now. What if I am cut off from them forever? What if I am branded a traitor? Yes. But the consequences go far beyond his life. I do not know how to live without some connection to House Barun. The Great Serpent has always been a guiding force in my life. The force that drives all that I do. What if I have lost that? Yes, that is true. Whatever else has happened or will happen, the Great Serpent still holds a purpose for me. You have been by my side through all of this, the most turbulent time in my life. And you have supported me, faithfully. I have never been able to count on any single person the way I have with you. If I am repeating myself, you will have to forgive me. I cannot overstate what it means to me. I have never had a best friend, but I believe that sounds right. So if we are to be best friends, then I shall do everything I can to be there for you, in the way that you have for me. How can I sit here feeling sorry for myself when there is so much for us to do? The stock versions are never quite what you want, are they? Literally. I hope that modification proves beneficial.
Lately, I find myself spending more and more time.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
Sorry to pull you aside like this, but I wanted to take a moment to congratulate you. Taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential to the safety of every living thing in the settled systems. You should be proud. Indeed. Leaving that problem unchecked could have made the situation go from bad to worse. I only wish that the United Colonies chose to exterminate the Terramorphs with the experimental microbe, instead of choosing this ridiculous Asili solution. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. That was a risky choice you've made. Minimal risk. Are you sure? The Asili solution might take years, perhaps even decades. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking for humankind. That sounds far too risky to me. Well, I'm disappointed that you didn't trust the science. Unfortunately, locking away the Lazarus plant instead of eliminating it adds to the risk. Anything that accelerates the Terramorph life cycle should have been completely removed from the equation. Why take the chance? You haven't let me down. You've simply given me cause for concern. I'll tell you what. Let's put this past us, shall we? I'm sure everything will work out in the end. I'm sorry if I've said anything that jeopardizes our working relationship. I have something I need to discuss with you. I have an important personal decision to make. But I need to discuss something with you first. No, not at all. This is something that's been weighing on my mind for a long time. I was hoping if I talked about it with you, I could get your opinion. That's all. Phew, thank you. So, where to start? Before I was with the Navigator Corps, I was career military, part of the United Colonies Navy. When the Colony War broke out, I was posted as the chief navigator on a warship, the Dauntless. Well, the position didn't last long. There was a particularly bloody battle. We were fighting over a world in the Eta Cassiopeia system. Worst fighting I'd ever seen. We lost 12 ships that day. 12. Including my own. Economic reasons. Several of the worlds in the Cassiopeia system were mineral-rich. Both sides wanted to drop refinery outposts on the surface to bolster their supply. I'm well aware how many lives were lost. Now let me finish. The ship was barely intact. The captain and first mate died the previous day, which put me in command. A shrewd captain would have called for the crew to abandon ship, but I was so angry. I wanted to stay. I needed to fight. The Dauntless was a tough little ship. No shields and the hull was breached, but it still had power. And weapons. That's why I remained in the battle. Huge mistake. I believe you. But you haven't heard the worst of this. We fought for hours, but the damage was fatal. I gave the order to abandon ship and the crew piled into the escape shuttle. As the shuttle launched, I could see it was damaged. I heard screams before the radio cut. The last thing I saw, they were spiraling helplessly towards the planet's surface. There was nothing I could do. The ship barely had enough power for comms and life support. All I could do was watch them die. It was my duty as acting captain to be the last person to leave the Dauntless. We had more than one escape shuttle available. So, I elected to wait until they were safe. Thank you. But condolences can't reverse what I've done. I was caught up in the moment. An inexperienced captain making rash decisions that cost people their lives. Try telling that to their loved ones. When the dust settled, the United Colonies gave me a medal. Can you believe that? A damn medal! I never even had a chance to find the shuttle wreckage and give my crew a proper burial. That's true, but still, it doesn't erase the real issue here.
Remember when you said no one but me would have pushed harder to keep the Navigator Corps going? Well, this time, pushing too hard cost lives.
Don't you get it? Everything I do, everything I touch, somehow falls apart. That's why I'm worried about us. Look, it's clear the two of us are becoming more than partners. We're becoming close friends. Even though I've pushed people away in the past, I feel different when I'm around you. I feel safer, comfortable, not afraid to admit who I am. I'm terrified I'm going to screw that up. After everything you've heard, all my stories, you still have faith. No one's ever cared about me this much. Not even Aja. You know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about us, about our relationship, how we've clearly become close. I practiced what I was going to say when the moment was right, and now that it's here, my mind's gone blank. Look, you deserve the best. Someone who can give themselves to you entirely. But right now, I have too much baggage. Too much on my mind. I hope you'll forgive me for pushing you away. I just need time. Can I help? I'm right behind you.
Miss Morgan, I shall be here if you need me.
It's actually comforting to know that, Andresia. Thank you. Yeah, what is it? Feel free to drop some stuff in. Bye.
Dusty, Dusty! Dusty!
Response. This is a commercial passenger transport liner wanting to alert you about hostiles in the system. It's our company's policy. Us friendlies have got to watch each other's backs out here. Safe travels, stranger.